checking to see if my live stream was working. Looks like it is. It's got about a 10-second delay on it. So I brought another phone just so I could see some chat a little easier. And if I have to type something in, I can. Well, on a phone, as much as I can. By the way, William, I really enjoyed those fish, that little video that you put out, and the email. I got it. Really beautiful fish. Got my drink. Ooh, got some. I shouldn't say. It's YouTube. Better not. Excuse me for a minute. I'm just getting set up here. Yeah, they look really good in that video swimming around. How long did you have them acclimating for? Still not all set up. I gave myself 15 minutes and thought I had everything. I don't know if I've got everything. So unprepared. I don't know. I might have to go back inside. Floated for 30 minutes. Okay. Yeah, they looked pretty healthy in the video, as far as I could tell. Yeah. Hold on. I'll be right back. Oh. You're never prepared for a live stream. And this one is because I'm bored. Hey, Muppet, how's it going? You made it into this live stream, and I just started. So, oh, this camera wants to do all kinds of funny stuff. But then again, it's night, and I've got one light right up there, the porch light. And I don't know. Just not going to do a very good job. I wonder if I move it. Foxy Fishes, how you doing? There we go. That's at least a little better. I don't look quite so dark, but then again, you know, Halloween, it's coming. Okay, now for the creepy face. Making chocolate chip cookies. Do I get one? Oh, I don't think I need any. Let's see. Cookies. You wouldn't believe it. My daughter made me a peach cobbler. I had a nice bowl full of it. It was good. It was good. She added some little bit of, I think it was some kind of pumpkin spice or something like that, and a little bit of chocolate. It was good. I I'm not sure that there's anything left. Yeah, yeah, it was a nice treat, you know, and went out tonight and had to get some pieces, parts, or whatever for her school science fair that she's doing this year, a big project, and ran down to home improvement store and grabbed some stuff and decided to stop at a different store, you know, for the drink part. It's good too. Okay, that car's making all kinds of noise. So what's everybody up to on a wonderful Friday night? We already know that, I shouldn't be dropping things. I already know somebody's making chocolate chip cookies. Okay, I have to check it. I guess, phone case worked. Drop the phone on the concrete and it's okay. Boy, it's been an interesting week for me, I tell you. So I have that phone out here just so I can see your chats a little bit earlier. Pretty slow night, huh? Well, slow's not always bad. Oh, did some moving to some fish, huh? You gonna show it off on a video tomorrow for us, Foxy? Hold on one second. Sorry, just some text messages. What kind of bristlenose Plucko? He put a new video out yesterday, you think, huh? Oh. Hold on a second. I think we got a sick kid in the house. Sorry about that. He's laying down, and I don't know what else we can do right now. Might have to go get tested just to make sure it is or is not, the thing. Into the water jungle. Oh, it being this time of the year, it could be the flu or it could be anything. But I apologize, guys. Tonight I do have a headache, and I think everybody here knows. Well, Muppet, you weren't on the earlier live stream, but you do know. I mean, you probably watched a couple minutes of my live stream where I said I got sent home from work because of symptoms. They didn't. I got in to wasn't the front door, but the door I go into, and they turned me around and said I couldn't go to work. I had to go home. So, a minimum 48-hour leave. Just to be on the safe side. Okay. Oh, come on, phone. I've got my new phone there that I'm recording on, but StreamYard only does like 720. So unfortunately, you can't take the full advantage. My new phone will actually record in 4K, and it'll do, I think, all the way up to 60 frames a second in 4K. Oh, the teacher. Yep. And it was positive. That's one of the reasons why we're thinking that we might have to go get tested. Because if that's the case, we're all going to be locked down for 2 weeks. Oh, and I got an email today that the whole school's shutting down. So, yeah, all classes are going virtual. Because if I was reading it right, let's back up for a second. I'm not sure. Let's just say 2 of the staff, okay? Not necessarily teachers. It could be secretary, principal, whatever. 2 of the staff have now tested positive. 3. I think it was 3 in the last week. It went from 0 to 3 in 1 week. And so they have shut down the school, that they're going to be cleaning the school. They're going to be going all virtual classes again, like they were doing last year, as a precautionary measure because they can't bring in any substitute teachers, like there's any available, because all the other schools are, needing substitute teachers too. And so they are having a lack of staff, plus, this thing going around. So they have decided to keep everybody at home now. I don't know how long this is going to last. So we'll have to make it work somehow. I was wanting to try to put out at least 1 video every week, and this past month I haven't been able to do that. And I thought I was going to get back on track doing at least 1 video, like the one I put out today of Black Beauty. And, it was a spontaneous live stream earlier. So, excuse me. I don't know. I might be able to do some live streams here and there. Today's a pretty good day. Tomorrow's not. I've got to fix a car. Wednesday, I heard my brakes start grinding, and I've been so exhausted from the hospital. Hey, John, how you doing? Yeah, Muppet, I think you're right. Um, but yeah, on Wednesday, I noticed my brakes grinding, and finished driving on Wednesday. I drove Thursday, and then I went in today and got turned around and came back. I've been so exhausted this week from working so much that I got home. I'm like, okay, I'll sit down for 30 minutes, and 30 minutes later, I was so exhausted I couldn't keep my eyes open. Give you for instance, I work from 6:30 until 3, and on Wednesday I worked from 6:30 until 5. Um, Yesterday, that the morning started out pretty good, and then all of a sudden we had it wasn't an emergency, but they called it an add-on case that had to be squeezed in, and I was in one case in the operating room from 9:30 until 3:15 with no breaks, no bathroom breaks, no getting a drink, no eating. I was exhausted, and my body, I think, just it shut down, and Uh, I think that's why I had the diarrhea and I had the headache and everything. When I went into work and I told them that, hey, I had some diarrhea and a headache, and they were like, nope, get out. Um, they want to be extra careful. And I mean, they weren't mean like that. I didn't make them. I'm not trying to make them sound mean, but they're trying to protect everybody. Okay, you got to understand that. I understand it. They're trying to protect everybody, and so I was a little disappointed because I probably should have called before I even left for work and said, hey, I had this, and they probably would have said stay home, but I didn't. So that's on me. I drove 45 minutes in just to turn around and go back home this morning, which is kind of funny. The tired poop. Well, this is what my grandpa used to call medicine. I'll call it medicine. Oh, I haven't had it in a long, long, long time. I think it was probably last year. Probably about this time too. Every year about this time, I start feeling pretty under the weather, crappy. Uh, and plus, a week ago, I got updated on some vaccines. Plus, got my flu vaccine. I'm sure that didn't help any. Immune system might be a little bit weakened from it. Roxanne, I can't tell you. It's YouTube. It's not coffee. Not this time. uh, Muppet, that might be a common trait. Men tend to underestimate things sometimes. But eating more is not always a bad thing. Yeah, John, I know exactly what you mean. I had the same problem for a long time. And when I went to college and started studying medicine and all of that, I found out why uh, why that happens. So I get it. I really understand. But uh, even though that, okay, so when I take a flu vaccine, that a lot of time in my life, I would get sick right after the vaccine within 1 week. I'm not kidding you, within 1 week. All right. I would have a fever. I felt like I had a flu, just all the symptoms of the flu. Okay. So I would get the shot. I got the flu. And then about a month later, I get the flu again. I know. It is crazy. Um, but as I got older, and I did not expect this. Okay. The doctor that I used to have before we moved to finish college basically said, no, maybe you shouldn't get the flu vaccine anymore. I mean, my doctor actually told me that. He was smart enough, and it actually says in the studies that the flu vaccine, for some people, it is not recommended. It's not. Um, but as I got older, um, I'm in my 40s now, okay? So in my 20s, I would react really bad to them. And so throughout my 30s, I wouldn't get one. Would not do it. I started that in my 20s. But when I was going to school, and I had to start my clinicals and everything, I had to get a flu vaccine. Well, even it started about a year before that. I went ahead and got one while I was going to college, okay, and studying everything. And now this, I can't explain this. I don't know why it changed, but something changed. That when I got the vaccine, I didn't get sick that time, and I didn't get the flu that year. The next year rolled around, which would have been last year, okay, I got the flu vaccine because it was mandatory. I had to, or I would be kicked out of my clinicals and I'd be kicked out of my program. Okay, so I had to get the flu vaccine. Okay, so I'll get the shot. I'll get the flu. Big deal, right? I thought that's what was going to happen. It didn't. I didn't get sick again. I didn't get the flu, and I didn't get it a month later. Okay, so I don't know if something has changed with my immune system that is accepting it and it's working the way it's supposed to. I'm assuming that that's what it is. Now, I don't have any evidence of that. Okay. Again, this year, I got the flu vaccine 2 weeks ago. Now, I haven't experienced any flu symptoms, unless you want to count the headache. Okay. But I didn't have the fever, didn't have the body aches or any of that stuff. Okay. None of the cold sweats, night sweats, whatever. So, um, for me, I don't know what it is, but as I got older, for some reason, my body has accepted those, and it's actually helping me now. And I'm happy because I'm required to take one. Um, so I'm glad it's actually working for me now. I'm not saying it's going to be the same way with you, but I thought I would just share my story on that one. That's just my story. I don't know too many people that will share that story, but I do know exactly. Get the flu shot, got sick, month later, got the flu. It was like, why would I even get the shot? So I lived that. I know what that's like. Oh, good grief. You were nearly fired, really? I have some nightmare stories about jobs I've had in the past. That's why I went back to college. Um, I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want to dredge up all that anger and bitterness in me because I do have a lot of resentment that I don't want to talk about there. Well, John, you know what? Like I said, you know, the flu vaccine isn't for everybody. But if you have a good relationship with your doctor, and your doctor knows you, hey, he can write a letter to your work saying, hey, this is not recommended to my patient, blah 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 blah. And what are they going to do? Give you medical advice if they're not a doctor? That's a lawsuit. If your doctor gives you orders not to do something, guess what? That's good, John. That's really good. I mean, hey, glad you have a good immune system, man. And yeah, talk to your doctor. And Muppet, um, it is actually proven, there are studies that will actually happen. Um, Now, I don't want to get too complicated, but the the way the vaccine works is it is bits and pieces of the virus. Okay, it's not a whole virus, but it's injected into your body. Okay, so it's not a live virus, and it actually does not get you sick. So what gets you sick is that your immune response reacts to it, and so you get all the symptoms from your body trying to fight something that is actually not alive. And so that's, and then it uses that, hey, it found a way to defeat it, and that creates the immunity in your body. That's the way it's supposed to work. Okay, that's just kind of the watered down version. But your body attacks it, and because your body attacks it, that's what makes you sick. So there's that little bit of you know information. Um, but yeah, there are people that can get their own body will react to it so badly. It can be just as bad, or in some cases even worse than getting the regular flu. Now that's a very small percentage, but it exists. Okay, and I mean a very small percentage about getting sick worse than the actual you know virus that is trying to help keep you from getting. Hey, farmers can have some of the best immunity systems. This is kind of just personal opinion. Because, yeah, you're around that stuff all the time. I have a lot of family as farmers and friends. Okay. I appreciate and I respect farmers. Yeah, see? John right there said, makes it sicker than the actual virus. It can. John, I'm just curious. Do you have an egg allergy? And I'm sorry I cannot explain why I'm asking this question, and I'm not going to go any further into it, but this is just a curiosity, okay? If you don't want to answer that, you do not have to answer it. I'm just curious. But John, Muppet is one thing about it. If that stuff does happen, you need to report it to your doctor so it can be documented. And with that being documented, um, your doctor can use that information saying, "Hey, I do not recommend this vaccine," and let him decide that he can write a note for you saying, "No, my patient should not get this." Maybe your doctor will do that for you. So, really, and I know you're trying to sell out anaphylactic shock. You're the you're the first person. I really haven't met you, but you're the first person that I know of that tomatoes would do that to. That's interesting about the tomatoes. I might have to do a little study on that one. I'm sorry. That's just me geeking out. I apologize. I'm sorry, John. I'll stop asking you questions. No fish or dairy. Okay. Yeah, you might want to talk to your doctor. Maybe he can get you a note saying that you're not allowed to have those vaccines. But seriously, talk to your doctor about that vaccine. If he's anything like the family doctor that I had to give up, I had that family doctor for over 30 years. Okay, we had a really good relationship, and I miss that. We've been down here for a year and a half in a new area, and I don't have a doctor with that kind of relationship. I do have a doctor that if the staff will get him a note or something, he'll say, yeah, this guy is medically trained. He knows what he's talking about. Do what he tells you to do. He's actually done that before. But the staff won't actually get a message to him most of the time, and that pisses me off. Been self-employed, okay. So your boss isn't as bad as the previous one? Is that what you're saying, John? Or is your boss worse? Don't suck up to your boss too much, John, okay? Oxy, really? Concord grapes. Oh, John, you're talking about all you can eat seafood buffet. Oh my goodness, I love Chinese food and stuff like that. Oh my goodness. No, were all those same people from the same restaurant? I hope not. Uh, yeah, they, they were the same restaurant. I'm not even gonna ask what restaurant. Don't spoil my love for seafood. I do have actually some food allergies, and it mainly pertain. Well, medically, I have food sensitivities. Okay, a true allergy is something that will send you into anaphylactic shock. Okay, so medically speaking, I have food sensitivities. A casino. Well, I don't go to casinos. I'd rather keep my money in my pocket. I know how casinos operate. They give you a lot of fun, but they empty your pockets. I had some bad experiences a long time ago. That's how I know. So I have food sensitivities to soy and preservatives, which almost everything has preservatives in it. There is becoming more and more foods now that are preservative free. I'm able to eat more than what I used to. Now, the nice thing is, if I'm a good boy, I can, if I eliminate it for about a week, everything that I have troubles with for a whole week, I can go out and eat one meal at a restaurant or something without suffering very many consequences, very tolerable, okay? But if I do it again, like the next night, it's worse than the flu. It's really, really bad. Only so much money in your pocket. Okay. Well, the problem was, John, I was a truck driver, so all my money was on me all the time. That was why I had a problem. Walk out broke. Talk about working and not being able to eat. I stay away from it. I don't even buy scratch off lottery tickets anymore. Yeah. Um, Dairy in some people can actually cause um, a life and death situation, though. Won't send them into anaphylactic shock. I didn't get into big detail, but it can actually cause such a big problem that can threaten death. Okay, that's still an allergy in medical terms. It's all about the severity of it. Went to the casino the first time and put $20 on the table and walked out with over 800. The first time I went to a casino, I went in with $20 in my pocket. Now I left all the rest of my money in the semi, which can be just as dangerous as taking it into the casino. Okay, um, and I played the roulette table for 3 hours. I had drinks on the house, and I left with about $15. I didn't win any money, but I had 3 hours of entertainment and free drinks. So I decided to repeat that. It didn't go so well the second time. I accidentally took all my money in with me, and so I couldn't stop. Yeah, John, I love roulette. Yeah, ice cream and on the toilet for hours. Yeah. John, it doesn't always work, but I was really good at math in school. Now, I don't have a photographic memory or anything like that, but see, roulette is all about the odds and in the house's favor and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I would run the mathematical equations in my head about what was happening with the numbers throughout the last several throws and was able to determine um, not numbers that would come up, okay? A lot of times I would play, reds or blacks and could easily, build my money up. And then I would take extra money and throw it on different numbers anywhere on the board and stuff like that because of the odds of what was going to happen compared to what did happen, probabilities. And I would use that against the house to sit there and just play. And then I would throw extra money away by putting it on different numbers or something just to take chances. And so that's how I played roulette. Well, I ran into one table that I can't prove it, but I think they were cheating big time because it did not follow the laws of probability at all. Oh yeah, every once in a while I would put some money down both on zero and double zero, green, obviously. That's the only way you're going to hit the green. But yeah, they took all my money. So I've never repeated that experience again. Well, I didn't bet large. It's not like I was betting thousands of dollars. I mean, okay, this was like 20-some years ago. I'd put like $5 down on red. Not a big bet, you know. And I was at a crowded table. There was people all the way around it. So I was just a small fry. There were people betting larger than me, but I still was losing. Everybody was losing. And yeah, I know they can, depending on how somebody talented enough to, I call it spin the ball. You know, if they can very consistently have the same speed and force behind that ball when they run it around, they they can look at that wheel, and when they shoot it at a certain area, they know it's going to land in this area, not maybe on an exact number, but they can get an area where maybe nobody's really betting there, so they kind of can make that ball land in that same area. Yeah, exactly what you just said. Avoid the area where they have the highest bets. Yeah, tables where I play and it was dollar minimum and $20 minimum to get in. There was nothing less at the casinos that I was at. The casino that I actually had the best time, believe it or not, was in Las Vegas. The casino where I lost all my money at was in it was a different state. Hold on, I come to me. Yeah, you Muppet, you're right. And see, that's why I don't even play scratch offs. Um, what state was that? It was a totally different state. It was not anywhere in Nevada. It might come to me, I forget, but it ruined it for me because I know they was cheating as hard as they could. Yeah, Roxanne, you're not missing much. It's a trap. I mean, okay, so in business, a business is there to make money. They're there to make money so they can pay employees, so they can pay their overhead, such as their heat, their air conditioning, their light, electricity. They're there to make money, right? In a casino, the way they make money is you give it to them. So, and that's the truth. Now, if you want to go to a casino and you want to have fun, you put that in your budget. You say, okay, I can afford to, on my vacation, here's $100 that I'm gonna lose, or here's $100 I'm gonna go on a shopping spree. Well, here's $100 I'm gonna go have fun at a casino. Don't ever expect that you're gonna walk out of that casino with that $100. Always, always plan on you're gonna go in with $100 and walk out with zero. 13. Stop playing lottery, Foxy, and just, check it up that you won, and that's it. Walk away. Now, John, when I worked at a store, we sold scratch-off tickets. The store that I was selling it at, the store only got 4% of sales. Okay? Then 96% of sales went to the state. I'm not going to say much more than that. How do we go from talking about getting the flu to scratch-off tickets and casinos? Well, hey, this is just much of your live stream as it is mine. I mean, adjust the camera a little bit there. I'm getting out of frame. Oh, that's not too bad, Roxanne. I mean, I'm not really for gambling, but, if that's money that you can decide that you want to have fun with and not get back, every once in a while, you get lucky. Won't deny that. There are people that get lucky. Yeah, I don't know what it is now, John, but this was like 25 years ago. And it was a very small percentage. I mean, I'm talking a max 4%. It might have only been 3.5% back then. Today, I mean, times change. But also at that time, the state provided everything, including the dispensers that the tickets came out of, those little clear plastic containers. That was the whole estate. They brought in everything. Okay, it was all theirs. And then the store would make a couple percent on it. So, can I ask John what state that you might be talking about? Because I'm talking about Indiana at, obviously, well, it wasn't 25 years. Well, maybe 20. It was 24 years ago, actually. 24 years ago. Tennessee. Okay. Yeah, well, there's a lot of towns, and it's been hitting Indiana really hard. I went to the store just to pick up something and leave. Every single fast food restaurant, coffee shop, or whatever had lines of cars wrapped around the building. I haven't seen traffic like this and I don't know how long. And I'm going, well, there's a reason why it's spreading so quickly. No, but I'm sorry. Personally, because of my job and what I do, we haven't went out to eat. We haven't ordered food from anywhere or had it delivered or anything since last year. Trying to take those extra steps. Excuse me. I hope your parents are okay, Muppet. No, people around where I live are just being stupid. They think that, what, and okay, I get it. I know we're tired of it. We all are tired of it. We're sick of it. We want to go back to the way things were. I understand. I really do. But I think People aren't being smart about it. I don't know how many people, when I went to the store to pick up materials for my daughter's science project, I saw people in there and they had signs on, you must wear masks. I mean, we're right now that it's required by the state you wear masks. And people are still walking around without masks, or their masks are on like not even covering their nose and only, most of their mouth. Masks only work if you actually are wearing them correctly. And when I say work, I mean it significantly reduces the chance of you spreading it if you have it. Okay? Does it eliminate it? No. And I am pissed off at all the media that blows it way out of proportion and never reports anything right because they're idiots. Well, I think we all knew that. News media, idiots, same thing. But the idea behind it was to help reduce the chances, and that's what it is. It reduces the chances. Muppet, I know. I have several restaurants that I've severely missed, and I was like, I could go through the drive-through, and then I remember how many people do the people in the drive-through come in contact with, and then come in contact with you? How much does that increase your chance, in a percentage-wise, if you was thinking about a casino, does that increase your chances of a jackpot and you getting it? Not saying it will happen. It's just the laws of probability. Okay? Oh, I might have had a little too much grandpa's medicine here. That's funny, Muppet. Okay, so we all hear those reports about how the actual cloth masks are so horrible. Guys, here, okay, I should. If you want me to stop this rant, just type in stop. Okay, so news media, Facebook, YouTube's channels, they get this all wrong. The virus is not okay. The virus is it's spread in what's called droplet transmission. Okay, that means it has to be in a droplet of water or mucus or something. Okay, it cannot survive on its own in the air. All right, so it has to have that droplet of water or mucus to stay viable. And when they say, oh, it's aerosol form, they make it sound like it's airborne. There is a huge difference between airborne and droplet transmission. Okay, airborne means it can survive on its own in the air. It doesn't require anything else for it to be transmitted. In droplet transmission, it must have some kind of water or mucus. Mucus has a lot of water. Rant. Okay. So the reason why cloth masks are acceptable is you're not trying to stop the virus. Okay, viruses are so much smaller than a bacteria, which is a single cell organism. Okay, That's why you can't see a virus with a microscope. You have to use a regular microscope, okay? And I'm talking about a 2500X microscope. You have to use an electron scanning microscope to be able to see it. Something that can go up to, like, we're talking like 25,000X, 100,000X to be able to actually see the makeup of the virus. So you're not trying to stop the virus, which is much tinier than a single cell. All right. Everyone says, well, it's not going to stop the virus because the virus is so much smaller. Well, yes, but they're not thinking about the other side. You're not trying to stop the virus. You're trying to stop a droplet of water or mucus, which is much bigger in comparison. It's absolutely huge compared to a virus, or from a virus, or even a single cell organism such as bacteria. So even cloth can be affected because that water mist will actually hit the mask and get stopped. And people that can't even wear a cloth mask right just irritates the hell out of me. And it's just absolutely infuriating when I see all these people that are so-called professional, reporters, they can't even get that crap right. I'm losing faith in humanity. They can't even tell a story correctly because they don't even do their research to even be able to talk about a subject, let alone report it to the masses. I don't trust any of them anymore. I think they're... And half the time, have you ever seen these YouTube channels about they'll get all kinds of different news media outlets all across the United States and play them, and they're almost exactly word for word, every word, the same word is used for a news story. How do you think that happens? They're being force-fed a news story to tell you, and they have no clue what they're reporting. They're just reading a piece of paper from some idiot that wrote it down and thought it would make good radio. Wonder why people are sick of listening to the news and they don't care about, actually wearing masks anymore. It's because they've figured out that they're being lied to in the first place. I have a friend that refuses to wear a mask because he thinks the news media is lying to him. Well, he's right. He just doesn't understand what he's being lied to about. And so therefore, he's not going to follow the recommendations because of that. He thinks they're all idiots and he doesn't want to do it. I understand his thinking, his logic. You'd be lied to by somebody and then, wonder why that they decide not to listen to him at all. Well, it's because they've been lied to. If I didn't study medicine, anatomy, physiology, and pharmacology, and all that stuff, I wouldn't understand what's going on. Guaranteed that if I didn't do all that studying and understand all of that, I'd be in the same position. I'd say, screw the mask, I'm not wearing it. So, yes, I understand. So I'm not so mad at the people that are refusing to do it. I'm mad at the people that has put out misinformation so long, and the people are fed up and sick of it, and basically giving the middle finger to them and say, screw you, I ain't doing it anymore. That's who I'm mad at. Yes, Muppet, word for word, same story. A news organization in California, New York, Wisconsin, Indiana, Tennessee, Georgia, Texas. They're all reporting the same word for word story that's been spoon fed to them on a piece of paper or teleprompter. I gotta stop this rant. All I can say is, for 48 hours, I can't be called into work. Minimum 48 hours. Not maximum, minimum. I'm not scheduled until Monday. Yeah, John, you know, he got mad. He doesn't understand. I think we have a winner. If we was playing a guessing game, Foxy, cheers to that. So, I understand people out there. I understand why they don't want to. I get it. I don't agree with it, but I get it. And that's one of the things that being in healthcare, that I don't have to agree with things. I'm there to help people, and hopefully I can help people. Um, I've talked to some very, very, very smart people. Nope, straight up on the rocks. If you want to call that blended, it's straight up. What's the point of taking away from the taste and the flavor? But I think that I think we'll get through this pandemic that we're in, and it might not be easy, and we might lose people that we know, and it's really sad, but we'll get through it. We will, and I'm hopeful that there's going to be things out there that's going to help us. And this, I am not going to say whether you should or should not, but my personal choice is that because I am a medical professional, I work in the operating room, I assist the surgeon. I'm right there at the field. If they offer me the vaccine for this, I will take it, because I want every precaution that I can take, I'm going to take to help prevent me from getting people sick. I know other people in the healthcare field that say no, they're going to wait until it's been out for a while, and which is totally fine. But I will say that when the vaccine's available, I will take it, because I believe that's what I should do. I don't want to get somebody that's in there that I'm supposed to help. I don't want to get them sicker or even jeopardize their life when they put their life into our hands at the hospital. uh, I'm not saying that you have to take a vaccine, okay? Because of my profession and everything, it's very different. So, if you risk a cow's life or a chicken's life because you don't get a vaccine, that's much different than if you come into hospital because you're seriously ill and you need an operation to save your life. There's a big difference, and I get that. You're a farmer. I'm going to tell you, if you don't want to get a vaccine, man, hey, you don't have to get the vaccine. Me, I'm in the operating room. I'm a CST. Okay, I love what I do, but I don't want to kill you. All right? I don't want to make you sicker. I don't want your stay in the hospital to be any longer than what it needs to be. And so, am I going to risk myself if that means helping you? Yes, that's what I do. And I love it. I love what I do. When I was growing up, when I was really young, my parents were farmers. If they still had a farm, they had to sell their farm. Okay, we won't get into that. But if they still had a farm, I would have become a farmer because I love farming. I love being out there with the animals, you know, shoveling the manure and all that good stuff. It was great. Okay, John, I do have to say this. There should never, ever be a bill passed through in the United States or even at the state level that requires you that you must get a vaccine. It's my choice. It should be your choice. Sorry, take the camera stand there. I think vaccines should stay a choice, and it needs to be that way. You should never force a vaccine on anybody. And this coming from a guy that wants to get all the vaccines that he can, I still think it should be your choice. That's right. I'm not going to push my decision that I want to be vaccinated for everything onto you. That's your choice. There's a lot of things like that in our country that it's a choice, okay? And I think some people are speaking out too loudly about it. When it boils down to it's your choice, you know, you can take that in a lot of different ways. Okay, John, you don't want the vaccine. Hey, I'm cool with that. Me, I think I should get the vaccine. I'm pretty sure you'd be cool with that too, right? Um, I no offense, okay. I'm just going to step out on a ledge here, John. I'm going to pick on you for a second. If you wanted to vote Democrat and I wanted to vote Republican, we can still be a friend. It doesn't matter. It's our choice. That's what our nation was set up to do. It's our choice. That's part of the beauty of our republic. All right. The anger and the hatred out there because you want to vote Democrat but this person wants to vote Republican and you got to hate each other because no. That hatred and that anger is ridiculous. We should love each other. It doesn't matter if one person's a Republican or one person's a Democrat, if one wants to get a vaccine and the other one doesn't want to get a vaccine, if one wants to be religious and the other one doesn't want to be religious, it's your choice. You have the right to choose whether you want a vaccine. You have a right to choose what religion or no religion. You have a right to choose between Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever. You have that choice, but you should never, ever hate the other person for choosing something different than you. May not agree with them, but I don't hate them. And never ask a patient before surgery, oh, are you a Republican or are you Democrat? Are you religious? Did you get your vaccine? We don't ask that. we're we're people, okay? And I think that's the beauty of this country. We have the freedom to choose. And we should still have the freedom to choose whether we want a vaccine or not. And if a farmer chooses to not get a flu vaccine, that's his choice, and he should never, ever be, what's the word I'm looking for, reprimanded, or, you can't sell your product because you didn't get the flu vaccine. No, that is just deplorable. And yeah, John, you're right. Both parties are flawed. And I grew up in a house that was strongly in one party's favor. And I told my dad, which was strong, that I said, I am embarrassed to ever be associated with that party. Yeah, I told my dad that. Yeah. So I am not affiliated. If somebody asks if I'm a Democrat or I'm a Republican, I reply as neither. I don't care what party they're in. I will vote for somebody who has the best morals that I think that line up with mine. I do not do the popularity contest that this country seems to be fascinated by, that, oh, I want to vote for the most popular person. Really? Does that ever work out right? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I have got to stop ranting. Ugh, this is terrible. I don't know how many. Yeah, it says I've got 4 viewers left. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I hope I'm not offending you. No, never ever brought up politics, except for the fact that uh, you know, the only thing that I want to see is that we're all human and we can check mark yes. That's what matters. We're all human. No, 7 watching. Okay, my thing said 4. Yeah, I'm tired of the hatred dividing this country so much. When I think that I begin to wonder, if we want to hate something, why do we want to hate each other? Why can't we hate crime? Why can't we hate, but no, we've got to choose things that we want to hate, one political party. We want to hate somebody that doesn't wear a mask, or we want to hate somebody that does want to wear a mask. Yeah, I've seen posts on Facebook like that. Colored guppies, hey, how's it going? Boy, you stepped into a mess. Oh my. Yeah, but, and Roxanne, that's a whole nother argument, and I don't want to get into that because I really don't care. Um, I had a friend that just went on the deep end on me, that, and there's some pretty strong feelings, and I get that. That somebody that comes into this country illegally, they didn't do it the right way. that they were on the borderline. They would never answer me, and I said, if they were hurt, do you think they should be allowed access to doctors and health care that can actually save their life or not? And I'm under the opinion, I don't care where you're from in the world, whether, no matter what. I don't care if you've got a criminal record. I don't care if that record is a speeding ticket or whatever. I'm there to help people. Oh, you meant the other alien. I'm sorry. I'm still a little bit, yeah, about that conversation I had with that person. Because I don't care. I really don't. It doesn't matter to me if the patient that is in there to get help, I don't care about their criminal record. I care that they're a human. And I think that's what matters, that they're human and they need help. I made mistakes in my life, okay? I'm not proud of those mistakes, but I made mistakes in my life. But when I went to a doctor and I needed help, I got help. Okay, it's not my job. I'm not a judge. I'm not a jury. I'm not a police officer. I'm not a lawyer. Thank goodness no, I don't want to be a lawyer. I don't want to be in that mess. I don't want to be in a political party. I don't want to be, I don't want to be any of that stuff. Okay. I don't, no, I want to help people. That's what I want to do. You know, the police, judges, and juries, they can deal with what they deal with. They don't come in the OR and try to do what I do. I'm not going to try to do what they do. I think we need all types of people in this world, including, farmers. The juries still are out on whether we need lawyers, but I love guppies of all colors. Oh man, can we make a sticker with that? I think we should have a T-shirt that says "I love guppies of all colors." That is the best line I've heard tonight. Oh man, maybe I've had too much medicine. Grandma's medicine. Oh my. Oh, sorry about this old porch swing squeaking, guys. Oh, I want to write that down. I want to print it out. I want to put it in a frame and put it on my wall. Colored guppies. I think that's the best quote ever. You made my night. I love it. Thank you, Colored Guppies. Oh, man. I don't even remember what I was going to say. I could talk about some fish tanks. I can talk about fish some, but I still can't say it. I could start talking about some fish tank stuff now if you want me to. Man, I've been on a soapbox way too long. uh, Grandma and Grandpa used to have this porch swing, wooden porch swing, had the chains that went up to the rafters of the deck above, and you know, we as kids used to swing on that. It was great. I loved it. So I never slept on it, but I spent hours on that sometimes just swinging. Well, tell our guppies, I'm glad we make your night. Oh man, if I, you know, I wouldn't have a good stream if it wasn't for you guys. So, Grandpa's medicine just dropped. Oh, I wish Grandpa was still here. Yeah, he was almost 80 years old when he passed away. Grandma lived just about 1 year more, and then she passed away. Uh, you know, sometimes that we don't realize what we have until it's gone. I just wanted to put that out there. Appreciate the people that's around you, whether it be family or friends, because you'll truly miss them when they are gone. Well, yeah, I've got something very similar to that, John. Called a, I'll call that my Friday night tea because it's about the same color as tea. But that's the only resemblance. Uh, oh my goodness, guys. Okay, so I was working this one job many years ago. I hated this job. It was terrible. And my boss, who was the shipping manager, and I was the shipping lead, okay? He calls me in the office one day, and he just starts ranting on me how this place that we're working for is so pathetic, and he's had it, and he doesn't care anymore. And he reaches down to his desk, and he breaks out this bottle and slams it down to the desk, and it's a bottle of Hennessy. I don't know if you've ever heard of Hennessy whiskey or not. I shouldn't say that. It's YouTube. Sorry, guys. And so he slams it down onto the table and he says, "That's it. I've had it." And he takes the cap off and he pops it up and puts that back down. He says, "Anthony, I know you're tired of it too." He says, "Here, this is you. Take it." And I look at it and I take it and everything. He says, "It's probably the smoothest stuff you'll ever have." He says, "Take a drink." So I take a drink and I'm kind of stunned. I'm shocked. I'm waiting for that bite. There's no bite to it. And it's like, what? What is this? And he takes it back and he takes another big swig of it. And he says, "You want more?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good, man." Come to find out, it was an empty bottle filled with tea because it had the same color as Hennessy. He filled it with tea and he played that prank on me just to see my face, and he laughed and laughed so hard because he said the look on my face when he got that bottle out and started drinking tea. Oh my goodness. I had to laugh too because that was a good joke. That was a good one. He had prepared that one pretty good. Oh, telling that, and I was missing some stuff in comments here. Let me look back a little bit here. Oh man, John, I'm sorry to hear that. One of my classmates when I was in college, her husband had lymphoma, and she was still going to class and still struggling through school while her husband was dealing with lymphoma. Oh, guys. Oh, would you mind if I went and refilled my refreshing beverage? Well, some people would consider this hard liquor, but I don't. I used to, how do you put it, something that is clear like water. You know, every bit of it was clear. I used to drink that straight. Griffin Fish Room, what's happening? Grab a drink, sit down, and let's chat. Oh, John, I miss some homemade stuff. But would you excuse me if I took a few minutes to refill my cup? I would appreciate it if I saw a yes in the chat. All right, John, I'll be right back. I've got to mute the mic, okay? All right, I'm back. Oh, my. Let's see, I got some chat to read up on. Color Guppies, you're too old now. What, for drinking games? When? You get too old for that kind of thing? I didn't know that there was an age limit on games like that. Vaguely remember. I vaguely remember some things. Well, I'm 95% positive that one of my old drinks was hard. Yes, 190 proof. what you guys have been talking about. And I said hi to Griffin, and I'll say it again. Hi, Griffin. We'll see. Griffin, you're at work. Oh my! I'm cold. It is cold here. It is very cold. I'm outside. Checking the temperature, what it is here right now. Too dang cold, I'll tell you that much. I don't want tomorrow, I want right now. 36 degrees. 4 degrees away from freezing. So I'm 4 degrees away from freezing my butt off. So yes, I've got a coat and a blanket on me right now so I can live chat outside and I'm not waking the kids up. Oh, I'm an old man. I sit on a porch swing with a blanket. Oh my. You know, the only drinking games we ever played is you take a shot, I take a shot, and we make each other and see who throws up first. Yeah, it's great to relax. And, you know, I gotta say, 31 degrees there. Moffat, what state are you in? Are you in Wisconsin? Well, isn't it colder in Wisconsin right now? My goodness. We used to have some family up in Wisconsin that would go up to, and we'd go horseback ride. Man, good time. But it is too cold. Connecticut, okay. Oh. So then I wonder what the temperature would be in my old hometown. I don't know. Let's see. It's 34 degrees in my old hometown. Yeah. I think fall is officially here with vengeance. Ever since I moved about 3 hours south where I used to live, we don't get the snow like we used to because we was up in the lake effect snow off Lake Michigan, and we get maybe at most 1/4 of the snow that we used to get. And I'd hear everybody around here say, "Oh, there's so much snow," and I look outside and there's like 2 inches. And I'm like, that ain't snow. You don't know what snow is until you get like 12 to 24 inches. And sitting on top of the road and the plow trucks say that they can't even go through. Oh man, I wish it was 56 degrees here. That's winter for you. I'm jealous now, Color. Very simple rules. Drink. Okay. I can handle those games. Do you ever have friends try to play on you whether you drink hard and then you drink, the BWERR? You went, that's an old Bob and Tom song. If you ever listen to Bob and Tom, BWERR, be right. Yeah, I'm jealous of that winter. Well, and winters are so bad, it gets down to 50 degrees here. Well, I tell you, the worst I've ever been in, and this is no joke. I was up in Canada, and I woke up one morning to negative 60. Okay, I love my Indiana weather compared to that. Never in my life have I ever felt something so. Are there words to describe the agony it was to open the door? No, there is not. Because I immediately closed the door and said, nope, not going out there. Let's put it this way. With a heater continuously running, it was barely able to maintain 50 degrees, and that felt like a heat wave. To think that 50 degrees was 110 degrees hotter in Fahrenheit than it was outside. Negative 60. Uh, this is no joke, and this is not an exaggeration, but it felt like somebody shoved nails into my eyeball when I opened the door. You ever see that? They'll be out there in the Arctic snow and they've got like goggles on or full face mask and they're all, tucked up in a, like, a fur hoodie that's like, I can't even tighten this one tight enough and it's covering their mouth and everything except for you just see eyeballs. That's why. That's why they have the goggles on. No, it was cold enough that it froze before it exited your body. Cold. You're pushing out a solid chunk of what used to be liquid. Cold. I just got that image from the original Star Wars, cutting the gut open and crawling inside. Oh, it makes me glad for this 36-degree weather all of a sudden. It's really bad when the conversation between you and a friend is about him peeing. Isn't there something wrong about that scenario, about your conversation of, hey, guess what? I had to pee, and this is how it went. You know. So what'd you do today? Oh, I peed. Let me tell you all about my pee. It's one thing if you're talking to a doctor. It's another thing if you're talking to your friend about peeing. I know. I know, it's just, it was just a mental image that I had about two guys talking to each other about, hey, I had to pee when they, this is, I know, I wasn't there. But yeah, when it's cold like that, and you gotta pee, it's not, uh, um, it's not like, oh, hey, I walked into a restroom, did my business, and walked out. No, it's a thing. When it's really cold like that, a bit of alcohol is involved. Yeah, usually alcohol is involved when you have to start talking about pee stories. But no, when it's really cold and you have to go outside to relieve yourself, no, that's an adventure. I'm not talking, like 30 degrees. I'm talking like negative 60 degrees, and I got to go outside to relieve myself. The first question you are asking yourself is there something that I could pee into and then go outside and throw it away? That was my first question. Why do you think I had to open the door? I didn't do it because I wanted to see the fresh morning sunshine. It's like, is there something that I can like throw away outside when I'm done with it so I can get rid of this water and something that's a little warmer? I think this live stream is going to be banned by YouTube. I'm going to upload, it's going to be automatically uploaded and it's going to come across as banned because of the conversations that we're having. Yeah. Yeah, John, like I said, I grew up, my parents owned a farm. So yeah, a fence post was a common place to make water. As Driving Miss, if anybody has seen the movie Driving Miss Daisy, yeah, make water. But when you get into the negative temperatures, it's like an heroic adventure that you can sit around and tell the barmaids at your local pub about. It's not the common, thing that everybody does. No, it's like the heroic act. You did what? No, impossible. Yes, I did that. No, you couldn't have. It was too cold. I don't know why I have like a weird pirate accent, but okay. uh, that's not P, that's an icy. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, when it gets too cold like that and it creates a overcast of fog so you can't see what you're doing anymore, that's cold. It's not a P Avenger. It's like, I have no idea what I'm doing anymore. My boots could be wet. I don't know yet. Oh, I'm glad I have this listed as not for children. This isn't going to be too much longer. I'm not going to be able to read the chat. Oh. foxy fishes. Are you even still there? You're probably going, ah, what is this guy doing? Yeah. Oh. You're actually still there. Oh. Yeah. And she said that. I'm still here. No smiley face, nothing. It's like, I'm still here. She doesn't want to get herself involved in a weird conversation. So I do have to say that I pulled out a bunch of frog pit and duckweed out of my wife's 29 gallon tank, excuse me, and she was telling me that she had not seen the fries in a while, and she'd wondered if they were still alive. And I kept telling her, I said, yeah, they probably moved on. Well, today I actually got to see one of the Dalmatian fry, and yesterday I saw one of the black molly fry, and so she was happy. She had wondered if the other fish had tried to or accomplished maybe getting a snack, as I'll put it. No judgment here. But yeah, I pulled out a bunch, trying to get some more light down inside the tank. Well, with being such a green water tank, that it's hard to get light down to the plants. But I'm still blasting that tank with light to see if it'll act just like the 10-gallon tank, that after a while it finally burns itself out and it becomes crystal clear. That 10-gallon tank is just, I mean, you can see all the way through it perfectly. So I'm waiting, because with all the plants that I want in that tank and everything, I like green water tanks, but I did not set up this one to be a green water tank. So that's the unfortunate part, is that the plants that I have in there are suffering because they're not getting the light that they need. Yeah, but it does provide a good food source for the fish fry that are in there. And I got some. Well, my wife has some more. Oh man, some more molly that are about ready to give birth. I should have zipped up this jacket. Yeah, that's true. But I don't have any Daphnia culture, and well, I guess I could. I'm not sure that I can walk straight enough, as I'll put it, to see if I could catch some wild Daphnia tonight. But let's see about maybe doing that tomorrow night, going down to the river or going down to the pond. I got the hiccups or something. But yeah, the Daphnia would absolutely thrive in that tank. That water is so green that I took a little bit out to. Well, I was adding some fertilizer and stuff into the tanks today, and I just reached in and grabbed some water to kind of thin it out before I poured it into the other tank. And I noticed that it looked cloudy when I poured it in, and so I grabbed some water out of the green water tank, poured in the 10-gallon, and poured just water in there, and it also looked cloudy as it was going in. Just for fun. I just wanted to see if it was the green water or whether it was the fertilizer that was making it look kind of weird when it went into the 10-gallon tank. And so I know there's a lot of algae in that tank. It's pretty thick. So whatever it's feeding on, it's still in that water. Called. Oh man, it is getting so late for me, guys. It says it's 10:31 here, but usually I'm in bed like at 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I'm sorry, guys. Uh, uh, yeah, John. Green water is great. It's just this tank was not set up to be my green water tank, and like I said, I have some moss and some plants in the bottom that really need the light that they're not getting because of the green water. I wish I could set up a tank that was just for green water, but every time I've tried, that within 2 weeks, that the the algae has burned itself out. The nutrients that it's using to grow has depleted and it goes away. Oh man, you're looking at a guy that is past his bedtime. I'm sorry again. Foxy fishes. Never had to deal with it. Well, it's not a bad thing. It's a nice learning experience. I've had a lot of tanks. I've never had to deal with green water. And the past two tanks I have. But it's been a learning experience. I've been trying to do different experiments and to see if I can change the outcome. You have to feed the green water. Yeah, my last tank that the water cleared up, I even dosed it with fertilizer, and shortly after dosing it with fertilizer, like 2 days, it started clearing up. Now this tank that I've been dosing with fertilizer is still going. So I'm not um, I'm not upset about it. I'm kind of fascinated. At the same time, it's torn between, yeah, it's a green water tank. It's really cool, and yeah, I've got plants in there that I want to keep alive. Okay, Grandpa's medicine's kicking in. Foxy fishes. What did you just say? Green water like phosphates, right? Yes. As far as I know, green water does like phosphate. Now, the phosphate in my tap water, which goes through a filter that it has activated charcoal in it, still has 2.0 parts per million phosphate. So I have phosphate in all my tanks, except for one, and that's the 10-gallon tank. And I think that's because the algae used it up and died off. Nitrogen for green water. Well, that's kind of interesting, John, because I still had uh, I still had nitrate in my 10-gallon tank when the green water died off. I had zero ammonia, zero nitrite, and I had 0.25 nitrate, and the green water was gone. So I'm wondering But yet I've had other tanks that have the same water that never had an algae bloom like that before. That still had the phosphates and the excuse me, the nitrates were even higher. So I'm wondering if there was something else that it also needs that was not in those tanks but are in these tanks that I am either A, not testing for, or B, some other variable that I might not be looking at. I've got Chinese algae eaters in a lot of my tanks because of the diatom blooms. And the Chinese algae eaters love diatom algae. Well, it's not really an algae, but anyway, the diatoms. I have the duckweed in the tank that cleared up within 2 weeks, even though it still had the 0.25 parts per million nitrate. The nitrites were at 0, the ammonia was 0, and the tank is also a dirted tank. And that tank does not have, that's the only tank that I do not have a Chinese algae eater in. Now, the fertilizer I use is the Easy Green from Aquarium Co-op, if that makes a difference. Okay. Now, I've also put in the duckweed into the 29-gallon, which is still going after about 4 weeks. It still has a really, really healthy green water. And I'm wondering if I should take all the frog bit out and replace it with a bunch of duckweed to see if that will help it. But I thought the frog bit would do just as well as the duckweed, because I do pull out the excess. Well, I try to pull out the excess and put it in my 60-gallon tank where the large goldfish eat that. They eat the duckweed, they eat the frog bit, they eat it all. Yes, I actually do like duckweed and I like frog bit both. I think they're really cool plants. You just have to keep them in check. You know, you have to keep pulling out the excess out of the tank. Um, guys, you're going to have to give me about 5 minutes and I will be back. I am sorry. Let's see. Water IBC tub. I'm not sure what that is. Oh. So the duckweed actually does better than the frog bit, huh? Okay, John. Well, you have a good night. Thanks for the advice. I'm going to see about trying that in my in the 29-gallon. But guys, I'm going to have to put it on mute, and I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Okay? Hold on. Well, John, if you're still listening, thanks for joining the stream. Appreciate you here tonight. Oh, let's see. Foxy Fishes, are you doing water changes? You want a costume for Father Fish tomorrow morning? That would be great. I would love to see that, Foxy. Pastas for a wig. Oh my, that's funny. Foxy Fishes, dress up as an angel fish. How's that? I don't know how you would do it, but it'd be cool. Oh my. Oh, well, that's what I had to do with the water change. Oh. Or Foxy Fishes, I don't know. Could you dress up as Lee Wilcox? Confused. I don't know if you can do that. Oh. Oh my. Yeah, I was watching one YouTuber that actually put on a bunch of hornwort and put it all over his head. And yeah, this was about a month ago. It was kind of funny. He was saying, "How do you like my new hairdo?" I have officially more hornwort than I have hair. Not a whole lot of hair left. It's 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 receding pretty fast. Oh, well, I've been live streaming for 2 hours. Doesn't seem like it. Time flies pretty fast. Oh my. You know you have too much grandpa's medicine when it's hard to read the chat. It's double then. I'm gonna be up on this plant. No, Foxy Fishes, your giggle is contagious. I love it. Yes, I've seen you on plenty of live streams and your giggle. Oh man, it feels like it's 10 degrees colder out here. Muffet, don't you agree that you love Foxy Fish's giggle? That's great. Uh, no, that's not what I wanted. It's still too cold. Oh, no, you don't squeak. No, I don't hear any squeaking. I love it. Like everybody loves your laugh. Yeah, it's contagious for sure. Ugh. Sorry guys, I am just so cold. I don't know why. I thought, yeah, I'm not supposed to say it. Key is supposed to warm you up. Move the camera a little bit there. Like having a tripod where I can just grab it and move it around. You know, if I want to move it down and move it up or side to side. Oops. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Boxing fishes, that would be great. You and Daniken? Oh. Uh, Danny and you laughing together. Oh, that would be fantastic. I just lost the heat from a water change. That's a good one. Only true Aquarius wouldn't know what that means. uh, yeah, my fish probably feel the same way when I do a water change. It's cold. It's cold. My fish never seem to mind a water change. Even if it does drop like 4 degrees in their water, they're like, whatever. But I'm going from being like, in a nice 70, 72 degree house, and that was like 30 some degrees out here. It's like, okay, this is a little much. You always get a chill after a water change. Yeah, but you're probably still inside. I'm coming outside. I keep thinking about those nice warm blankets and that big comfy bed up there where I can sleep until 4 or 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. if I sleep in. I mean, is that terrible? I think of sleeping in, like 6 a.m. is sleeping in, or maybe 6:30. I'm starting work usually at that time. Oh, I slept into 6:30 this morning. That's horrible. I should be able to sleep in until 10 o'clock. One more refill will warm me up. I'm working on that refill. I'm working on it. But it's cold too. Just the way I like it. Got it out of the freezer. Even in the freezer, it's still a liquid. Oh, foxy fishes. I've had one fish that decided to find out what it was like to run past the tube when I was draining water out of the tank. The fish did not live. Every time I do a water change now, I make sure I use one of those gravel vacs that has the filter in it, so it doesn't have such a harsh intake because of that fish. don't know why that fish did it. It swam right up there and poof. It was not a special fish. It was just one of those minnows that I had bought from the bait and tackle store just because I wanted to see what they were, and then I researched them, and they're just a whatever minnow, but still, it was just the idea that I had a fish do that, and I was like, oh, I hate that. I hate that. I don't want to say too much, but this was worse than breaking its back. So I always use those gravel backs because, right at the top of that big tube, it has kind of that, it's not a mesh. It's, because of it's a big tube, the water's really slow, and then it has that part where, you know, it helps prevent plants and fish from getting sucked up. So it's got a bunch of small, like, holes and before it goes into the small tube so that your fish will be safe. But yeah, I did it without that one day, and it did not turn out very well. Yeah, I know it happens, and it stinks when it does happen. So I try to do everything I can to prevent it. So I use my gravel vac on the end of the tube now to prevent that. The fish. I've had some fish, swim, get sucked kind of up into that tube, and then they swim back out, no harm done. But I won't just use just the hose anymore because that's what I had a problem with. Is I had just the hose, and that fish took off and swam right up to it before I could do anything. And unfortunately, yeah, the fish was beyond salvation. It was bye bye. Part of the hobby, but I still feel bad. Oh, I'm tired and I'm cold. I'm probably gonna have to end it tonight. It's 1 minute away from 11 o'clock here. I don't know what time it is where you're at. Yeah, a piece of mesh. Yeah, but I think with any of those big gravel vac type of things, that the water flow is slow enough that the fish can just, they can swim out of it pretty easily. Mine has a smaller hose than a python does, so it's much easier for them to escape out of the gravelback portion of it. It's 11 o'clock in Pennsylvania. Well, yeah, I'm in Indiana, so, well, I can't have any drink abuse, I call that. in lieu of the other word, drink. Um, so I have to at least stay on here until my drink is finished so I don't abuse it. It's getting close. Niagara Falls water pressure. Oh. Now, are you talking about water changes, or are you talking about, changing the water in your fish tank pressure? I shouldn't say this, but there was this one girl that I knew had this one job that the time it took for me to walk down the hallway to the bathroom and walk back, nothing in between, just walk there and walk back, still took longer for her to actually run down there, water change, and come back. It's like the first time I seen her do that was she left. She says, "I'll be right back." I'm like, "What's she doing?" "Go to the bathroom." She walks back in. I'm like, "I thought you went to the bathroom." "I did." "What?" Oh, a shower pressure removes skin. Oh my! All the water that I put back in my tank goes through my filtration system, which is has activated charcoal and everything in it to remove a lot of the stuff because the water that comes out of my tap is terrible. So even with the activated charcoal, my water that goes into the tank, the parameters are still kind of outrageous. The boy, I can't think anymore. The phosphate levels are still 2 parts per million. The GH and the KH are really high. I think the GH is around 19 degrees, which is somewhere around 300 and some parts per million. The KH is around 12 to 15 degrees, something like that. I forget. I'd have to go back and look at my uh, logbook, which I don't have out here. You have well water. I tell you what, I have well water with some extra additive. What I've got, literally, that they pull the water out of a well here where I live, and they add in the chloramine and chlorine, and it's terrible. That's why I run it through the filter, and it's still horrible. I don't know what my total dissolved solids are, but yeah, I know the GH is right around 19 degrees, which, like I said, I think that's around 320, which I think is pretty close to the total dissolved solids. And the pH of my water is right around 7.8 to 8.0 out of the tap. and so all my tanks are pretty high. And my tanks that are low pH compared to that are like 7.4, and that's the low pH because of the driftwood and the decaying plant matter, that I leave in there. It's still that low. So I have liquid rock. Yes. I have liquid rock water. Yeah. Now, in the 10-gallon tank that the green water started and then disappeared in, the KH and the pH has dropped, but it's still like 7.4 pH, and the KH is right around 12 degrees, and that's low for my water, which is approximately normal to slightly on the high side for other fish tanks. Yeah. I have not hooked it up, but I purchased a RODI system that I need to get some new filters for, but I need to get a water restrictor, or a flow restrictor. I had to do some research on that because I'm not sure how that all works. Grandpa's medicine is now kicked in full force. I apologize for anything that I might say. I'm sorry. It's that I'm down to 4 viewers. Oh, nobody likes me. I'm joking. I know it's late, and there's probably other live streams going on much more entertaining than me. Okay, I really cannot read the comments. Oh my goodness, I'm going to have to go to my other phone where I can actually, close one eye and look at it, because I'm seeing quadruple of everything. uh, well, thanks, Roxanne. I appreciate it. Oh my. I'm glad you're still sticking around with me. uh, I've emailed Jess at Main's Tail Fins and Furs. If I've got that right, I always say it wrong. I'm sorry. Because I'm trying to get some of those half black pastels. I think there'd be some really nice fish for my fish tank. I'd love to even get some for mutt guppies. I saw the pictures of the mutt, and I think they're absolutely gorgeous fish. It's one of those things that I wish I had more room to put more fish in my tanks, because some of those fish are just absolutely beautiful. I'm not a really big fan of the she calls them Dumbos, but the long tails and the long fins. I always feel sorry for those fish because they never seem to be able to swim right, but they are beautiful, beautiful fish. You want the purple number? Oh, some of those dragons that I think she called them dragons. Oh, they're gorgeous fish, and I so badly want them. And she has them listed as not available yet. Oh, so beautiful. Oh, the purple Dumbo. Yeah. Oh. And I have a local fish store up in the town where I work that is willing to buy the fish from me when I breed them. So start breeding them, I can start selling them because they want them. They looked at some of the pictures that I showed them. And they're like, I could charge more for those. We'll pay you blah 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 blah. You know, they're willing to pay me 50%. And I looked at them. I said, "Give me store credit." And they said, "Absolutely." And I'm like, "Well, that's cool." You know, they'll sell them for $15. I'll get like $7.50 each. And I'm like, "Yeah, I can work with that." You know, I can buy fish food. I can buy cat food for my overweight cat. Oh, we got this cat that is even after losing weight, that cat is way too big. It's comical. Sometimes that cat will actually go up to a wall and then lean up against it like it's sitting down to sleep. And that cat can give Garfield a run for its money on its size. It's a really fat cat. Oh my. No, the cat. Um, I think the last time it weighed in around 20 or 22 pounds, something like that. Big. When we first got the cat, it weighed like 4.5 pounds. So if that tells you how much it's gained. Oh, oh, I am so cold. Mm. This is my new coat too. I thought it would fight the weather. um, yeah, so we got fish, we got a cat, we got two cockatiels. The cockatiel, the cockatiel. Yeah, medicine, Grandpa's medicine. Cockatiels are white-faced cockatiels, so they're kind of rare. Um, we have to run across the deal and bottom. So two female white cockatiels, white-faced cockatiels. Um, Pretty interesting birds. Yeah, it's just a domestic short-haired cat. You know, just a tabby, but part of the family. Loves the kids, gets along with the kids, and that's what's important. Kids love the cat. Oh, you want button quills? Tuning in for how stupid I sound when I had too much medicine. Huh? I should not let this video be public when I'm done. Oh my. Uh, so, and four fish tanks with goldfish with Chinese algae eaters. with Molly, fathead minnows, and I guess that's what they call them. Angelfish. Love that angelfish. I was hoping the pet store would get another black marbled angelfish in. I would buy it. It hasn't happened yet. Oh yeah, lovely car alarms going off middle of the night. Sweet sounds of living in an apartment complex. Gotta say, I do like this apartment complexes over a lot of them because we actually have a lot of grass. Um, they're not stacked in like 5 or 10 feet from each other. There's 100 feet between one building to the next, so there's a lot of grass for kids to go out and play. So that is a good thing. We're planning on in approximately 2 years maybe buying a house, but for now, hey, this works pretty good. I cannot read the chat up there anymore. If you're wondering and why I keep looking down, I'm trying to read your chat. If the screen will rotate so I can read it. Yeah, tabbies can get beefy. Oh my. Oh, excuse me. I've really got to stop live streaming here soon. Yeah, we got this pet out of the Humane Society shelter, and picked up a couple good cats when we were there. Unfortunately, the other one decided to start chewing on a lily plant, and some lilies are deadly poisonous to cats. If you didn't know that, you probably did, but I didn't until it was too late. I don't need to say anymore. Loved the other cat, really did, but it was just too late. Oh, Foxy, I didn't know you had a pond. Well, wait a minute. You've done some videos on your pond. I forgot about that. Your pothos. How do you have your pothos in water? Do you just have the root dangling in the water, or what do you do? I'm kind of curious about that because I got some pothos, and I love pothos, but I know it cannot be a fully aquatic plant. I love so many different aquarium plants. I can't choose which is my favorite. I even love my duckweed. Yeah, don't submerge the leaves. Yeah, I know that part. I was told that by Rose Aquatics, where I got it from. I was doing an order of driftwood, and I started talking about plants, and so she sent me a bunch of plants, and I paid for them, and that unboxing video I did, I paid for the plants, I paid for the driftwood, and then she threw in some extra stuff like pots and some fish food that she wasn't using, and the Phosgard or whatever it is by Seachem. She threw some of that in there for free. Yeah, I didn't know she was going to do all that, but I show off a lot of that driftwood in my video where, uh, my new fish in my 60-gallon tank. Roxy, I think you've watched it. And I've stuck the roots and a little bit of the stem down in the water for the 20-gallon tank. The 10-gallon tank, no, I took it out of the 10-gallon tank. It's in the 29-gallon tank. And yeah, just the 20 and 29-gallon tank. And it really hasn't grown much yet. I'm not sure why. I'm thinking about taking one of the pothos plants and growing it like it's normally growing and putting it in dirt and growing it out. But I have it in the hang-on back filter for the 20-gallon tank, and the 29-gallon tank I've just kind of got it where the I guess you call it the rhizome, and the roots are down in the water, and the leaves and the stems are out of the water. But my time, just to let you know, my time is coming to a quick end here. It's almost gone, and I am extremely tired. Okay, there was not even one swallow left in that. That was it. That's done. And I'm just about done. Pothos are slow growing. Give it time. Okay. I'll give it some more time. I love pothos plant. Yeah. I've got to get some sleep, guys. Guys and gals, I should say. I don't know who the other people are watching, but it says there's 4 watching. But Muppet and Foxy, you've been chatting away, and I appreciate that. I really do. You've been keeping the conversation going, and love having you on the stream. I really do appreciate it. I hope you had a good night. I had a fantastic night, and it's because of you, and it's because of William, and I can't remember anybody else. I've had too much of Grandpa's medicine. The hard medicine, as we'll put it. Hope you guys had a good night too. I do really enjoy you guys being here. I enjoy you guys in other streams, and there are some streams that I'm in. I'm just lurking. I never really say anything, but it's nice being here and seeing the chat and you guys talking to each other and talking to me, and I'm here just kind of talking to you, hanging out. But it's been a really good stream for me, and I've really enjoyed it. I really truly have. I don't do YouTube to make money. If you guys don't know, this is just a hobby. I don't expect to make any money. I'm not even close, obviously. If you look at my subscriber count or anything like that, I'm nowhere even close to ever being monetized. I'm not even worried about that. But the conversations that we have, it's really fun. And I hope to never lose that we can just keep on talking and being um, friends that can just talk about anything, you know. And even if we have different opinions or anything like that, we can still just be friends and be here in a live stream. That's what I enjoy. I take my cues from people like Catfish Terry and Father Fish. That you know, it's more than just things such as the evil political thing. I say evil because it drives a wedge between people, and I don't like that wedge. I don't like that wedge at all. And I don't care whether you're Democrat, Republican, or Independent. Just to let you know, that does not matter to me. And we have our rights to choose, just like I said earlier. And I think that is a wonderful thing. And I'll never, ever hold it against anybody if you choose one thing that is different than what I believe. I won't hold it against you. I still hope we can be friends, and I hope you see it the same way. So, yeah, Muppet, it has been a great stream. I've really enjoyed it. I hope you have enjoyed it at least as much as I've enjoyed it. Foxy Fishes, I really, really do appreciate you being here too. Thank you so much. I wish William could be here and I could thank him too. And I know there are others here that have not said anything, that are just listening or that are just being here. I appreciate you guys as well. And just enjoy your fish, enjoy your fish tank. Because I know I enjoy mine. I enjoy seeing yours. So don't stop putting out the videos. Live streams are great, but I enjoy sometimes just watching your guys' videos. Even if I only give a thumbs up, I try to remember to give a comment. And sometimes, I will let you guys know, sometimes I watch your guys' videos and it goes into commercials and the comment section disappears where I cannot comment on your video anymore. And I'm like, oh, I forgot to do it. But I really do. I try to get a thumbs up and I try to give a comment whenever I can. Keep putting out the videos, guys, because, yeah, I like seeing what you're doing too. Don't ever stop. Foxy Fishes, I still remember that one where you're going down the trail and they show that beautiful lake with all the trees surrounding it, with the greens and the yellows and the oranges and the trees as autumn is coming into full force. It's gorgeous. I loved it. Thank you so much for that video. It meant a lot to me. I don't know if you understand how much that video meant to me, but it was beautiful. So, never stop. Keep being great YouTubers, and I will see you guys later. Thank you so much. Have a good night.